Hi, welcome to Because We Are Dorks. This week, we are going to be talking about the longer iPhone 4S.
Yeah, pretty much. It is longer. It's pull up your iPhone there. He's the only one who is qualified to speak on these things because he actually has an
I'm the
iPhone.
only person anywhere ever
in the
that's
world.
even though I don't own an iPhone 5.
That's not an iPhone 5. Yeah,
That's the iPhone 4.
Yeah,
He doesn't even the newest one.
Doesn't even have a 4S.
Nope.
Doesn't even have Siri.
I'm poor.
Yeah.
I do have iOS 6, and so I am qualified to talk about that. Sort of.
They left out a lot.
Yeah,
of
they
stuff.
left out a lot of stuff in the iPhone 4. So, actually, I'm not really qualified to talk about this. Maybe this wasn't a good idea for an episode.
No, I think it'll be okay. Because this week, so they of course, a few weeks ago announced the iPhone 5, and then just this Friday they released it. And to much acclaim. I didn't even hear about any kind of lines or anything. In fact, we went to the store Saturday, and we were passing by the Sprint store, and they said iPhone 5 now available. And I said, well, really? I didn't hear anybody mobbing the stores or anything.
Like usually I have friends on Facebook who are like, going to wait outside the Sprint store for a new iPhone.
Yeah, well.
I didn't hear any of that. Basically, we didn't really come up with anything to actually talk about.
Oh, the only thing we were going to talk about was, of course, they talked about iOS 6, which was released a little while ago to the older phones.
Which did finally add turn-by-turn navigation, but
Android's
on
had
iPhone
it
4, they left out voice commands.
Yes.
And
well, here's the thing. So they gave they gave the iPhone 4S users the complete update because they have Siri already. Right. And so I didn't even think about it until the other day when I realized that you don't have Siri on the iPhone 4. No, so the turn-by-turn directions are done by Siri, yes. Or at least Siri's voice. What was that? It sounded like you farted, but nope. I don't know what it was. It's haunted in here. That would be a great episode.
The voices of dead choir members can be heard throughout the church.
We want to come talk about the iPhone. Yeah, they did leave out a lot of stuff from the iPhone 4, that's what happens with Apple, though. You get a device. If you don't upgrade to the newest device, eventually you could use the old device, but it's not going to be as useful as the newer one.
Because I love my sister, I'm working on not interrupting Aaron as much. It's a lot harder than you might think.
I talk a lot. It's not really usually his fault. I just kind of sometimes blabble on and don't give him a chance to speak.
Anyway, no, I'm just kidding. That was actually. But honestly, I'm not really that mad about them leaving out voice commands because I understand Siri and all that. Or not voice commands. I mean the voice. Turn-by-turn voice navigation, all that. Because I understand we don't have Siri, so it's harder to integrate the voice. The one thing I'm more upset about is that they deliberately left out flyover. I was so excited for flyover. Being able to see cities in 3D and all that stuff would have been awesome. And you don't need voice navigation for that. You don't need Siri.
They'll probably give you the explanation that you needed that new A6 chip.
Oh, please.
But we've been doing 3D flyover stuff on Android for a long time now, and we don't have any A6 processor,
They just deliberately left it out because they wanted people to be like, oh, I don't have that. Now I need to go get a new phone. Which, for those of us who can't, is very rude, Apple.
It's rude.
You stink. I will be writing my congressman on your... whatever. Hate you.
What he said. But yeah, I mean, it's just the pattern of Apple is just...
Honestly, that's what made me think I would have no problem switching back to Android at this point.
And Android has its flaws too, but
they don't deliberately leave stuff out so that you'll have to upgrade to a new phone in order to have any of this stuff.
Mm-hmm. And it's just funny that everyone's toting these features now in the new iPhone, like the panoramic picture, which, granted, it's cool. And I talked about this to you guys a couple days ago.
My mother has the iPhone 4S, and I tried it on her phone, and it was okay. It works a lot better. We did it inside.
Did you not get panoramic on?
Nope. iPhone 4 did not get panoramic shot.
Womp womp. Anyway, so the panoramic feature is great, and I don't ever want to deny someone from being able to have that feature on their phone. But I will say Android's had it since 4.0.
Right.
But again, I'm not going to say that means you guys can't have it, but for a company that is also concerned about other companies stealing and copying their devices, they sure do copy a whole lot of stuff from other devices.
Yeah, stuff that Apple's never heard of, all of a sudden it's on this new phone, and Android's had it forever. So why isn't Android saying anything?
Look at this new thing that no one's ever had before. It's called turn-by-turn directions. It's like a GPS for your phone.
I don't know. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
The iPad didn't get the original iPad, which granted it is a fairly, at this point it's pretty old.
Device.
Yeah. But I don't know.
It's reached its end of life. It's not going to get any more updates, which I knew was coming. So yeah, but I mean it still works.
I still love you.
Until it doesn't work, you just keep using it. So, but we're not extreme Apple haters because he's got 2 Apple devices in front of him now. I own that iPad at one point.
I wish I could throw them in the trash right now.
But it's just kind of a pattern of like they really are just in it for the money. But I mean, so is Google, so is Android. But
sorry, can't interrupt.
It's okay. It's okay.
It's so hard. I mean, if I don't know, like I love Apple. I was telling Aaron earlier, we were talking about this earlier. It's kind of like getting a new car, but it's like I don't know.
It's like the 2012 Toyota Camry. And then the 2013 Toyota Camry. And it's like, it's
not really.
Still a Camry. It's
it's a new car, but there's no...
It's not groundbreaking is what I mean. Yeah. It's the same car.
There's no flash. There's no appeal. There's nothing on this phone that makes me like, oh my gosh, I will buy Apple products for the rest of my life because this is the coolest thing ever. There's none of that.
And it used to be that way, though.
And it did.
We were talking about between the iPhone 3GS and the 4, the big change there, and it was nice. I mean, that's a good leap.
Groundbreaking and awesome, and but now it's
even the 4S, I kind of understand that you don't make, for the S series, you don't make a big leap because it's just once a year, and, you know, not a lot of people are going to upgrade to that. But when it's the major revision, I expected more. I mean, the iPhone 5 feels like what the iPhone 4S should have been.
Do you know what the difference between the iPhone 4S and the iPhone 5 is? About that many inches.
Millimeters.
Oh,
do you mean inches on the top? Like longer?
Well, I don't care. I don't know.
It's like millimeters thinner.
It's like
it is thinner. Yeah, but it's very little. But yeah, it is taller, and that's how they got around this. Everyone was wanting bigger phone screens because Android's had big phone screens for a long time.
So they do it the crappiest way possible. They do it the cheapest,
just laziest way possible.
People want, like, when they say bigger screens, they mean like out, not like
at least 4.5.
I mean, what are you going to do with that much extra room on the top? What are you going to do with that? Yeah, it's the same thing. It's like, it's just that. Mm-hmm. What's the difference? What are you going to do? Add another column?
Another row. There is another row of icons.
What?
Oh my gosh, another row of icons.
I
didn't think about another row of icons. I'm going to go buy an iPhone 5 now. I hope you guys do the same. It's great.
Completely ridiculous.
Yeah, that's one of their features. Oh, now you can have 5 rows of icons.
Really? That after 5 generations of cell phones, actually more than that.
This is the 6th iPhone.
Well,
it's the 6th iPhone. Yeah, you had iPhone 3G, 3GS, iPhone 4, iPhone 4S, iPhone 5.
After 5 iPhones, the best you can give us is an extra row of icons.
And it's not that extra row of icons isn't nice. It's just you tout it as this feature that's just going to change the way you use your phone.
Come on, Steve Jobs.
It's like, no, we've jailbroken and put in 5 rows of icons a long time ago.
I could do that, like,
now.
When I got this phone.
Yeah. And on yours, since you got the update, you can't have 5 rows of icons, though, right? Because your screen's smaller?
Just another thing Apple needs.
Thanks, Apple.
Which, I don't need another row of icons. I could care less.
So this is really just a complain fest about how underwhelming the new iPhone is, which seems to be just the story of our lives from now on.
I don't know. Like, I do like Apple. Like, I love the iPad, but
we don't really hate on it.
Right now, if I had the choice, I would go back to Android. I hate to say it because I do love my iPhone. If I had the money to just be like, every time they announce a new phone, be like, okay, I'm getting it.
You and me both.
I would. Yeah. Anybody would.
Yeah.
But, you know, for those of us who don't have money to just, you know, throw away on phones every other year, or every year, as much as Apple's doing it.
Oh, look, Mom, I need a new iPhone. It's broken.
I don't know. It feels like Android is the better way to go because they don't leave stuff deliberately out of Android whenever a new update comes out. They don't.
Android itself doesn't. Like Samsung would probably because
probably
they
would.
want you to buy the Galaxy S3.
Right.
So why would they tote the Galaxy S2? They're going to wait to update that until they, as long as they possibly can. But Android as a whole, as the core system, does not do that, and that's what distinguishes them as a software company and not necessarily a hardware company, even though they have their own hardware.
It's annoying. I mean, I would keep the iPad any day. I love my iPad. Still does everything I want it to. But if I had the choice right now on phones, I would probably go back to Android.
We love you, Apple, but get better. It's like you're
quit being so cheap.
It's like you're sick
There's
and
nothing
invalid.
stopping you from adding flyover to an iPhone 4.
If we're just talking like out of our mouths, and we don't know what we're talking about, tell us in the comments. Be like, well, the reason they couldn't have it is because of the A6 chip or whatever. And
and then when you do that, delete it because we're not going to look at it anyway because you're wrong.
We read every
They could
comment.
have put. There is no reason. I guarantee even if it would have been slower, there is no reason they could not have put flyover.
I tend to agree with you, but I know that they have a reason. Like, they will give you a reason.
I'm sure.
The Apple lovers will give you, well, they couldn't have it because of this, and you just need to not be so cheap and buy the newest iPhone.
Yeah, well, go home.
And if you can't afford it, then maybe you shouldn't have an iPhone to begin with.
Hate you.
Okay, we're going to leave. We're going to go play with our Android phones. Or I am. All right, ready? It's already started.
Oh.
We're good.
Well, hi.
Welcome to Because We're Dorks.
This is episode number.
We lost count.
Yeah, a long time ago. The
What do you
iPhone 5. Uh-oh.
We can't use video effects when we use this camera.
Not bad.
Sorry. Boop. Bloopers.
Cancel that out.